You're now listening to INCRadio United Kingdom Satellite Studio.
Okay,
Good
good
morning.
afternoon, good morning, everyone, for joining us on INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio. And as you've heard, we are here on INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio, and it's been a good Sunday afternoon for everyone, right? And thank you again for joining us today, this Sunday. We know everybody is quite busy, and everyone is looking forward to our exciting program for this afternoon. Today, the 26th of January, 2025, and it's only 6 minutes. 6 minutes past 4. So we are so excited to be sharing to you, and not only myself, Sister Sally Grace Medina from the local congregation of Dublin South from the District of Ireland. I am not by myself. I am joined by our brother CJ. We just had to. We weren't sure who was gonna go in and introduce the show, but we are here now, brother CJ.
Yes, Sister Sandy, as you said, they were all excited that I nearly cut you off during your introduction. But here we are, and also hello to everyone tuning in here in our show for today in INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio. My name is Brother CJ, and I'm with Sister Sandy today for today's show, Sister Sandy.
Yes, brother CJ, we know we have such an exciting program to share to everyone tuning in and listening to us here on INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio, Substation Ireland, by the way. And our topic discussion for this afternoon is the types of hobbies for self improvement. And I know me and Brother CJ are just so eager to get this topic discussion started, but we also would like to remind everybody that later on during our show, we will be also showing to you an Iglesia Ni Cristo original music cover called Shine Your Light. And we will also be discussing some of the activities conducted in the districts of Britain South, Britain North, and Ireland, which is called our CFO in Action segment. Brother CJ, we're gonna go and proceed with our topic discussion, which I feel like is very timely and is quite practical and beneficial for everyone, right?
Yes, exactly, Sister Sandy. So as you mentioned there just a few seconds ago, our topic discussion for today's show are the types of hobbies for self improvement. So basically, a hobby is any activity. I think everybody in the world has their own personal hobby, and it's any activity that you frequently do for either for pleasure during your leisure time, or it's just like or something that it's a pastime during your free time. This could include creative activity, athletic, and also intellectual activities. There are many hobbies that we can do that is beneficial and can enrich our lives. So join us as we discuss the variety of activities that can help us lead a happier and healthier lives. And as Sister Sandy mentioned earlier, those who are tuning in live on our YouTube live stream, please do leave your comments in our chat, in our live chat, so we could discuss as well whatever your hobbies are, that we could maybe we could get some ideas as well that we could also try ourselves, Sister Sandy.
Yes, brother CJ, thank you for that. And as we mentioned, please, we do encourage everyone tuning in with us here on IC Radio United Kingdom to comment on live chat and please discuss along with us. It's such a nice feeling to see the brethren who and everyone joining us to put their 2 cents in when it comes to the topics that we're discussing. So, brother CJ will go straight and we'll dive into our topic discussion for this afternoon. And first question that we have for both of us and also for all of our listeners and our viewers. So the question that we have for us here, first one, what are some hobbies that you do that you think is quite beneficial for one to learn? Brother CJ, what do you do that you are currently advising everyone to learn or to take part in?
Well, It depends on the person, Sister Sandy. I personally do have like seasonal hobbies. I do during the summer, at summer seasons, I go hiking and running. But obviously during winter months you can't do that because it's cold. You're gonna, I mean, you could do that, but it's gonna be quite impossible. And it's also during winter months I'm on my lazy season, so it's a bit hard to find the motivation to go um and do the things that I can do during the summer months. But it makes me look forward to the summer as well. I hope it's nearly there. But during also with apart from athletics and staying active type of hobbies, I recently also just discovered this hobbies. Well, personally, before answering your question, I'm 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 slowly realizing I'm straying away from your question. But it's micro learning. That's what they call it. I think it's a different it's the beneficial part of doom scrolling in social media. Instead of just scrolling whatever you can see on different social media platforms, why not use the time that you use for doom scrolling and convert that into learning something new. So anything that can help in the aspect of self-improvement. But I think for me, to answer your questions, the hobbies that I think would be quite beneficial for one to learn is something that they could use in the long term um instead of just something that they can use in the short term. First, like say learning how to build a business, or learning a language or something like that. um I mean, there's lots of hobbies that you can think. Really, it really depends on your passion, and also on the time that you have, because some hobbies are also quite time consuming, and also, to be honest, some of them are also quite expensive. I got into the hobby of photography and videography before, but because the equipment that are required in that kind of hobby is just so expensive, there's not much you know especially if you're someone who can't afford the equipment. It's quite, but you can find some ways, like, with just your smartphones. You could do a little bit of that. So you have it just depends on someone's passion. But generally speaking, hobby that would be quite beneficial for one to learn are those who can benefit them long term. In not just in the athletics part, or also creativity, and also a hobby that could also become their full-time source of income as well.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that, brother CJ. There's like so many hobbies that you could venture into, and completely explore, but it all depends on your individuality and your personality. For me, the hobbies that I got into and eventually became my own profession is cooking. So it was a hobby when I was younger, and then it was something that I never actually thought that could be my main source of income initially. But it was just something fun to do with my mom earlier on when I was younger. But now it turned into my career, and also it's another part of like I'd say hobby that I also get to use, like apart from doing my day to day job professionally. I also do a little bit of like side gigs, to like boost the income if ever you need extra money. So like I do a little bit of like meal preps for people, and also a little bit of like small catering for people that I've worked with before. So that's one of the hobbies that turned into like a source of income for me. And also, as you said, brother CJ, you need to have a hobby that helps you keep healthy, and help you moving, right? For me, it would be my hobby would be like running or walking, or in terms of keeping myself moving and healthy in the aspect. Yeah, I always try and walk a bit more, even like during the winter. It's needed for your body to keep motivated moving around, especially in times during winter times, when it's so hard to get yourself outside, most especially when the weather's not that great. And also just to keep your mind kind of like clear and stuff, I like going outside in the outdoors, and keep myself moving and just being part of nature. And also, as you said, brother CJ, you need to have a hobby that is like on the creative side. I don't know if this like tell me if this falls onto a creative kind of hobby. But I think it was a few years ago, it became very popular to do the adult coloring books. For me, when I have a little bit of time and like I want to do something, but something that you don't require any kind of thought, or like you just want to kind of enjoy yourself, your quiet time, I do a bit of like adult coloring book. Does that fall on the creative side, brother CJ? I don't know.
I think it does, Sister Henley, because you know, the art of coloring itself, deciding what to color, deciding the color of the specific spots in the adult coloring books. I've seen plenty of those before, and I do think it falls under the creative hobbies, and also because I know a lot of people who do adult coloring books. They find it really therapeutic. They find it stress relief, which most of creative hobbies do have that kind of do give that kind of feeling to 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 them. Having a creative hobby is also like something to stress, just to release your stress from, and to release your stress into. Some famous painters, they do paintings to release their emotions, really express themselves and stuff. And I think on a smaller scale, that's where adult coloring books fall under. So yeah, it is quite impressive having that kind of hobby. I personally wouldn't be able to find myself doing adult coloring books because I just don't have the patience. I've tried that before, but I just don't have the patience. And whenever I color something, it's just not perfect. And being an OCD myself, once I make a mistake coloring something, I just stop. So it really just depends upon the person.
Yeah, that's so true, brother CJ. But like as we've mentioned, it's very therapeutic. For me, it's such a therapeutic kind of hobby because there's no thought process. You just choose your colors and go with it. I feel like it's not as relaxing for you, brother CJ. But for me, as soon as I start like using a colored pen, like regardless whatever color that is, I just go with it and let like the colors kind of do their thing. Because it's yeah, as you've mentioned, like there are aspects of our lives that are sometimes a bit more stressful, so you need like some downtime through hobbies, like creative hobbies that will get you back on your feet in let's say like and creative hobbies do that for me anyway. And also, brother CJ, we know in the sources that we've used for our topic discussion, right, there are also hobbies that we need to do to be a bit more social. For me, this is something that I need to work on, because especially during winter time, I don't know about you, brother CJ, but when it comes to winter time, it's very hard for me to socialize or be part of like going out with friends or doing something once I'm inside my house. I don't know if you feel this the same way too. I feel like for me, it's a lot harder to venture out.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I thought I was the only one. So turns out I'm not. But yeah, and I'm not sure. I think it's just the weather. When it's really cold, outside. You just don't want to. And it's I think because the root cause is like, you know, yourself not wanting to go outside because it's cold. You just want to stay on your bed, you know, snuggling with your favorite blanket, and it's you don't have the energy to socialize because of the cold outside. But yeah, but I guess it's just different from another person. It's just different with their, you know, I think it's because also with the people that you're surrounded with. If you feel that kind of energy with other people that they don't want to socialize with you, you also get that kind of energy. You also get that kind of vibe that, you know, okay, I'll leave them alone because they don't have the energy. But I do know a lot of people, to be honest, I do know a lot of people who despite me not having the energy, they would just you know, they would just push you into having that kind of energy, which I think it's not that bad. It's not bad because it gives you the motivation as well. You know, it you know, how do you call it, it brings you back to, you know, having that kind of energy. And it's also good to have to be surrounded with people with that kind of energy. But sometimes it's just exhausting. But it's not to say that it's bad.
Yeah, no, like I understand what you're talking about. It's like some people, they're very good at taking people out of their very, very comfy comfort zones, not for the sake of making them feel uncomfortable, but for the sake of letting them enjoy a bit more of day-to-day life. Because sometimes you get into a routine and you get stuck in the routine not knowing that you're stuck, but some people see that and they're good enough to actually push you to do a bit more things, and not let you kind of wallow in your comfort zone, I guess. And I really appreciate people that are like that. But sometimes, like, when I say no to people, they take it as a no. Sometimes I need a bit more of a pushing. And yeah, like I feel like I need a lot more people in my life like that. But currently, I'm surrounded with people who are like me. And it's not bad, but it's also like it needs to change a little bit. And also, brother CJ, what was the word that you used a couple of minutes ago, like educating or
micro Micro learning, Sister
oh,
Sandy.
micro learning. That
Yeah.
I don't know if our listeners or our viewers get into this, but like for example, if I'm like I've watched a historical documentary or like a historical based film, I really get into kind of like, instead of doom scrolling, I really get into like micro learning something, um based on like the events it's on or the historical date it's on. I really get into just fact checking, I guess is the word. If the movie or documentary I just seen is based on facts, or if they inflated some of the details about that documentary. I don't know if you go through those kind of phases, brother. Do you?
Yes, definitely. Actually, I do that a lot whenever I just finish watching a movie or a series that is based on true events. I would right away, before I forget it, I would go straight away to Google and then search everything that's happened there, like, you know, search the keywords in in the movie, in the film, write down the name of the actor. Oh no, not the actor, the character name, because that's what which would turn out to be their real name, um, and also the events that happened there, and also it's I think that's also part of micro learning, because you learn things, you know, in because micro learning, in my own definition, as far as I can understand it, it's something like, it's a small, you know, it's those small minutes or hours of your time that you spend on learning something, and then you kind of like apply it in your actual life. Like, say, um well, the recent movie that I've watched that is inspired from true events is like something about, what's that? It concerns it's something that's concerned with environment and pollution. Something that was used in there's this chemical that was used in the U.S. before, that they put into their pots, into their pans, and it
Oh,
turned those.
I know the film you're talking about,
Yeah,
really. Yeah, yes.
yeah,
But I don't know the actual like title obviously, but I know the main story.
yeah. It's called Dark Waters. So
Ah, yeah. Yeah,
they
I
told
remember.
about the story where there's this chemical that was used during World War II that they used to waterproof tanks, and then this one company, they used it to actually um as one of their ingredients to make what you call that, non-stick pans out of, which turned out to be really harmful to the human body. And those the excess chemicals that they have, they would actually just throw them away in the rivers, which would mix with the residential taps, which would then be consumed by the people who are living beside those bodies of water, which was really interesting because I've searched for that, and I was so aware that I actually went to our kitchen just to check for for pots and pans that were made out of those chemicals. But when I was researching, it turns out those chemicals were actually banned in Europe since 2008. So sigh of relief, like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll no longer see them in the kitchens here in Europe, I believe. Yeah, like and I feel like there's a lot more people that get into micro learning and they're not even aware of it, you know. But for me, I get really into it when it comes to like historical documentaries, especially World War II movies, like films and documentary series, because my dad is really a history buff, so he's quite into any historical figures, historical dates and facts. So ever since then, like I just got really into it. And if there's any new film or documentary based on World War II, we get really excited because we want to like kind of break down the details of the film, if it's somewhat true, you know, or like if there's anything that, you know, they turn into like they turn a bit more dramatic for the sake of like being on film or because of being on a film production, you know. And brother CJ, before we get ahead of ourselves, we'll go to our second question, which is from the hobbies that you mentioned, which one do you think is the most useful for you? Like even if you narrow it down to one or two, what do you think is useful for you that maybe you could share with our listeners or our viewers?
I think for me, to be honest, it's also seasonal. But to be fair, it's I would say it's micro learning because it's very useful because as someone, well, I'm not sure with anybody else, or but as someone who likes to learn stuff, I'm very passionate about education. So I everything that I could learn, even from small parts or even from just from the surface, if I have the time, especially most especially if I'm so passionate about, I would go into it and dig deeper, and then just learn it for myself, and then see if that's something that I could apply for myself, um, for myself, for my family, and just think of the long term, basically. So, and also it's very interesting to learn new stuff. It's fun. So it's quite useful for me, because it also makes me aware of things. And everything every small piece that you learn is something that you can, something you can remember, um, during your lifetime, because I hear this a lot. Lifetime Oh, learning is a lifetime process. So I think it's only fair to say that micro learning would be one of the useful hobbies that I think would be useful for me, and and that it's something that I could also pass on to my younger, um, I want to say younger siblings, but I'm an only child, so I could say, I could say maybe some so to my younger younger relatives, to my younger cousins, my nephews, my nephews and nieces. What about you, Sister Stanley? What do you think would be the most useful hobby?
For me, like we've mentioned that um you need to have a hobby that helps you like relax and just be in like a relaxed zone. I feel like doing anything creative is such a valuable hobby, because we know how hectic life gets, and sometimes you just need a little bit of time to um, kind of just relax and gather your thoughts in like not in a way that okay I need to get this done, more like in a peaceful relaxed way, so you could get your the rest of the things done later on. Like I feel like you need to have a bit of quiet time, but also in along with that I also agree that you need to have a hobby that helps you kind of boost your income whenever you need it. Like hobbies that you could like help you sell things like a product, like from cooking, or even hobbies that I know some people, their hobby is to mentor people, but in reality you could turn that into a source of income. You could mentor somebody through like helping them choose a career, or even mentoring them if they need a bit of coaching when it comes to like maths or English or other languages. I feel like a skill or a hobby that you could turn into a source of income is quite valuable. So for me, like maybe a hobby that is creative, and then a hobby that is a source of income is quite good as well. um, so like it's a two-way thing, like it helps you relax, but also on the flip side of things, if you need a bit more income to help you do other things in your life, then you need to have a hobby that will generate that income for you without you being what you call it, it's without you even like feeling that it's work. It's a hobby, it's just a hobby. So yeah, for me, like those two things go like hand in hand for me, because I feel like my personality kind of works like that. I guess it works with my personality. And brother CJ, like, well, I think we'll move along to our third question for us here on for our topic discussion, which is types of hobbies for self improvement. So our third question, brother CJ, I know you've touched base on this, but are there other hobbies that you have that you do purely for enjoyment?
Oh yes, definitely. Like you said, I think everybody needs one of those. So for me, I do hiking and running, not on a daily basis, but on a seasonal basis. Like I said earlier, it's only, I mean, I could try. I could, yeah, I've always thought of doing a winter hike as well, but with the Irish weather just going against our favor, I don't think I could do it. Just because it's so rainy and it's so cold as well. But I've always wanted to do a winter hike, but maybe not in Ireland. It's just not meant for Ireland. But it's I do a lot of hiking and walking, and also running during the summer, just purely for, yeah, purely for enjoyment, and also because it's very therapeutic, like what you said earlier. It really resonated on me, being with nature. It's just it's yeah, it's very relaxing, and it takes you away from the hustle and bustle of our daily lives. But what about you, Sister Stanley, apart from cooking, because I know you do enjoy cooking?
Yes, no, actually, I love cooking. That sometimes, but apart from the what it entails, um, in my professional life, sometimes I forget that it's something that I do for a living, because I just enjoy it so much. Um, but apart from cooking that I really do enjoy is running, because it takes me out of my normal kind of, oh, I need to get this done, I need to get this done. For me, running is just feeling the moment, just like a moment. It's just being in tune with yourself at that time, like when you're running. And also it helps me untangle my thoughts, because sometimes like you get caught up with the things that you need to do and the things that needs to be done, that sometimes you just need kind of like some time with nature, some time with your thoughts, and just run and feel the wind on your face, or like the cold on your face for us here in Ireland. And but yeah, running is a hobby of mine, but I haven't had a chance to do it in, I don't know, a few months now. But I'd really like to get back and do it again. And yeah, running is one of the things that I really do enjoy. And also, this doesn't sound like a hobby, but more like a pastime, I guess. But anything to do with travel, it could be the actual travel, or the planning stage of travel. I think it's becoming part of my hobby, that I like looking up things that would help me during my travel times, or even planning stage of my travel time. Looking up things that are new in the travel world, could be like, for flight travel, if there's a new destination that connected Dublin to another side of the world, or something like that, or a new travel bag that would help me pack a bit better when it comes to my travel plans, things like that. I don't know if that falls onto like a hobby. I think it kind of does. But yeah, I enjoy those things, especially looking it up on the internet. I follow a lot of like people on social media that do a lot of like travel things. So yeah, like those are the things that I just do purely for enjoyment, and purely just for me, because I know people wouldn't fully understand the things that I like. So I'm like, that's my like guilty hobby kind of thing for me anyway. But yeah, no, just purely for enjoyment. Anything else that you wanted to mention, brother CJ, that maybe like our listeners might also like, that they do purely for enjoyment?
Well, again, it's also I wouldn't want to speak for everyone, Sister Stanley, but again, it's also based on personal preferences. Really, you can't really say whatever you find enjoying would also be enjoying for someone else. I mean, you could recommend it to them, but it's not something that you could expect that they would enjoy as well. Like I say, I would always whenever I go hiking, I would ask my friends, my fellow Kadiwas to go hiking with me, but they wouldn't just go with me. They would always refuse, and it's something it's just real. It's just you can't blame somebody to for not being able to enjoy whatever you find enjoying. And but for our last question, Sister Sandy, why do you think it's important for one to have different kinds of hobbies?
For me, it's always nice to have a variety of hobbies, because like there's you have so many avenues that you need to explore, right, as a person, as your own individual self. I feel like we're just made out of so many components that we need to explore all of those components. We have our creative side, a more kind of like logical educational side, and also like our side that looks into the future and is a bit more like responsible, especially in terms of financial things. And also we also have that side of us. I feel like this is every one of us that likes to be a bit more social, or likes to gain a bit more knowledge. So I feel like we need to have a variety of hobbies in our lives. And as you've mentioned, not one hobby or hobbies fits the same, like is suitable to the next person. So it's very individual. That's why it's best to keep on exploring new hobbies, trying it out. If it doesn't suit you, it doesn't feel right, you move on to another hobby that maybe you feel a bit more comfortable enjoying or taking part in. But I feel like it's very important for a person, for an individual, to have several hobbies to keep you occupied with your time and use your time wisely, actually, and also keep you feel more well-rounded, I'd say, as a person. And there's so many hobbies that is still unexplored. So like, yeah, having so many hobbies is beneficial. What about you, brother CJ? Why do you think it's very important to for all of us to have different kinds of hobbies?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. But and for me, I think it's also good to for not just self improvement but also self exploring as well. It's very important to find what you're passionate about, because it's it's not just beneficial for you yourself in your personal life, but also in your professional life as well. And just to say lastly, Sister Stanley, having a range of hobbies enriches life and it promotes well-being, and it also can lead to a well-rounded existence, from improving our mental health to developing new skills that we can use and interests. Hobbies provide opportunities for growth and development as well. So let's all take some time to explore our interests and find a hobby that brings us joy and fulfillment. Sister Sandy.
Yes, thank you so much, Brother CJ. And we do hope that all of our listeners and our viewers enjoyed our topic discussion for this afternoon. But we still have a lot more to bring to you here on INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio. But we will have a little station break. But during our station break, we will be playing an Iglesia Ni Cristo original music cover called Shine Your Light. So please continue to enjoy our show, and please continue to tune in on INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio, and we will be back with you shortly.
You are listening to Iglesia Ni Cristo Radio, the voice of truth.
Shine your light. Don't let the darkness take you over. Let's fight the good fight. Hold on to God's promises. He will guide us. He'll protect us through these trials and adversities. In everything we do, we will trust in God. Shine your light that comes from the Lord. Every day, every night of our lives, we can only hope for the best. In this cruel world that we're living, it's a struggle, people suffering. We pray to God to help us through this test. We will not grow weary, we'll keep on growing stronger in our faith and hope and love. Amidst all the trials that try to knock us down, we won't fall, cause we know the Lord is by our side. Shine your light. Don't let the darkness take you over. Let's fight the good fight. Hold on to God's promises. He will guide us. He'll protect us through these trials and adversities. In everything we do, we will trust in God. Shine your light that comes from the Lord.
So many temptations more, but just trying to say that I won't fall to them. For all the trials and tests, I got saw God's words in the army can find in Ephesians. Cause son died on the cross, I made a promise to the Lord that I never leave him. And that's the reason I shine so bright, everyone forget that it's evening. Keep believing, thanks to the lesson that we're here, and the hustle worship of God's teachings. And I won't give up, no, not no step, I won't stop believing till I stop breathing. Until the day of a death, for the day Jesus returns. Follow every single one of God's teachings, that's it. city made a press, got the walls of the city just won't start gleaming.
Shine bright through the darkness, so many tests in the way, but we got this once in the dark, but now in the light. Stay true to the fate and fight the good fight. Lord God is my light, who then should I fear? He is my guide, to him I draw near, I'll carry on. With my Lord I will go for, there is no boulder too hard to shoulder. With my God as my protector, I will have composure. Share the gospel and be heard all over. I'm now in his marvelous light, and it's such a remarkable sight. For my God, there is nothing impossible. I can bustle test, cause he will make it possible. On the righteous path that I stride, he will guide me with superhuman energy that he provides me.
Shine your light. Don't let the darkness take you over. Let's fight the good fight. Hold on to God's promises. He will guide us, protect us through trials and adversities. In everything we do, we will trust in God. Shine your light that comes from the Lord.
Don't wander in the dark, follow him, walk in the newness of life. Stand your ground, you're a fighter. Let your light shine. Don't wander in the dark, follow him, walk in the newness of life. Stand your ground, you're a fighter. Let your light shine.
Us in times of pain, nothing can ever move us in our faith. We're holding tight, never letting go. There will be times when we're tested, pushed to our limits. We fall to our knees in Christ, got and bruised, but not defenseless. We faith, patience, and strength, so we can survive. He will not forsake us in times of pain. Nothing can ever move us in our faith. We're holding tight, never letting go.
Shine your light. Don't let the darkness take you over. Let's fight the good fight. Hold on to God's promises. He will guide us. He'll protect us through these trials and adversities. In everything we do, we will trust in God. Shine your light that comes from the Lord. Shine your light. Don't let the darkness take you over. Let's fight the good fight. Hold on to God's promises. He will guide us. He'll protect us through these trials and adversities. In everything we do, we will trust in God. Shine your light that comes from the Lord.
And there you have it, our INC original Christian music video, Shine Your Light. And once again, you're tuning in to INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio. We're still here, and we didn't leave. We're still here. I'm your brother CJ, and joined by Sister Sandy. And now, Sister Sandy, we're going to go to the next part of our show today, which is the CFO, or Christian Family Organizations in Action, where we will show you the different activities that we have done here in the local congregations here in our districts in the United Kingdom, and also in the Republic of Ireland. And we'll start with you, Atisen.
Yes, so we'll proceed with the first activity that was conducted in the District of Britain South in the local congregation of Romford, and they have conducted a history appreciation activity, and you will be seeing on your screens, and it's on your screens right now, how so many of our youth in that local congregation have joined together to take part in this very very nice activity as appreciation to the history around the community that they lived in. So as you can see, the youth members of that local congregation, the local congregation of Romford, have gathered together to conduct an activity like this, and it's always nice to see the youth coming together, joining together, being united in activities like this one. And again, we would like to thank the church administration for allowing us to conduct activities like this, where we share knowledge, through activities like this that is appreciating history around the community that we live in, but also being united, be always practicing the love of the brotherhood. So yes, again, we'd like to say hello to all of our brethren who are in those photos, and also the brethren in the local congregation of Romford. Now let's proceed to the next activity that we have, which is also conducted in the district of Britain South, and you will be seeing on your screens in a couple of moments another activity there from the local congregation of Swindon this time. And the activity is called Nature Walk Activity. And as you can see, it was taken part by so many of the Christian Family Organization members. So from the book club members, and these are members who are married couples. The Kadiwa members, these are the youth members of the church from the ages of 18 onwards, and they are single and not married yet. And also the Binhi members, they are the youth members of the church from the ages of 12 to 17, and also the CWS members, which are the Children's Worship Service members. Um, and as you can see there, everyone joined in, even though it was very wintry, and like there is like a bit of snow on the grass, on the ground that they are on. They are so happy taking part in activities like this when they are part of nature, enjoying the nature along with their resident worker, Brother Kate Munoz. And we'd like to say hello to Brother Kate po. And we'd like to say hello to everyone who is part of the local congregation of Swindon. And again, it's so nice to see activities like this where we are one with nature, even though it's very wintry right now. Now, Brother CJ, we still have two more activities, right, that we need to discuss.
Yes, exactly, Sister Sandy. Thank you for that. So I'll be showing the activities that were done here in the District of Ireland, both in the local congregations of Belfast. And first off, we'll go with the year-end socializing that they did during before the New Year. Yeah, so basically, all of the brethren in the local congregation of Belfast, and also from the group worship service of Ballymena, have gathered in the activity hall of the Belfast Chapel to enjoy each other and to greet each other, to greet one another a happy new year just before the year ends. And also joined by our district supervising minister, Brother Pepito Ayacuesta. They have enjoyed themselves together, enjoyed the food that they have gathered. I can see some delicious fruit
Mm,
juices there, Sister Sandy, and
so
also
true,
some
so
juices
true.
as well. And it's amazing to see, despite the cold winter season, it's good to see the brethren being warmed with one another, gathering during having a socializing activity like this. And also on the same local congregation of Belfast, they had their holy baptism conducted in their baptism hall, as in the baptismal pool as well, where the candidates for baptism were taught the importance of of receiving the blessing of the holy baptism, after having undergoing the Bible study of doctrines inside the Church of Christ, and also having undergone the probationary period. They have been approved by the church administration to receive the blessing of the true baptism, and also led by our brother Mark Rustia, oh Marvin Rustia. I'm so sorry, brother Marvin Rustia, our Light of Salvation overseer here in our district, and also present is our dear district supervising minister, brother Pipito Cuesta. Shout out to you, brother Marvin. If you're watching, sorry if I said your name wrong, but shout out to everyone in the local congregation of Belfast, and also to everyone in the district of Ireland.
Yes, thank you so much. And again, we'd like to encourage everyone to keep tuning in on INC Radio, United Kingdom Satellite Studio. And we have so many more activities to bring to you so that you may be kept up to date with all of the activities happening in the districts of Britain North, Britain South, and Ireland. And that brings us to the end of CFO in Action, actually, towards the end of our show already, Brother CJ. But before we close up our show, we would like to extend our greetings to our and Greetings to our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Thank you so much po. And our Christian Family Organization Coordinator, Brother Angelo Eranya V. Manalo. And we would also like to say hello and extend our greetings to all of our district supervising ministers of Britain South, which is Brother Harley Alcantara, and for Britain North, Brother Anthony Peña, and also for our own District of Ireland, Brother Pepito Acuesta. And we would also like to say hello and extend our greetings to all of the ministers and workers in the District of Britain South, Britain North, and Ireland. And also, we would like to say hello to our INC Media Production Section Chief, Brother Montreal Boy. And also, we'd like to say hello to our station manager, Brother Wally Taray. We'd like to say hello to all of you po, and we know that you are tuning in and listening and watching and enjoying our program on INC Radio United Kingdom. Brother CJ, what is there still that we need to do before we close up our program?
Yes, Sister Sandy. So again, to our viewers at the moment, we hope that you've enjoyed our show today, and please continue to tune in to INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio. Keep on watching and listening to INC Radio via live audio and video streaming at iglesianiccristo.net/INC Radio. You can also listen to the live audio streaming through your mobile phones by downloading the INC Radio mobile application on your mobile phones or your smartphones, or via the YouTube channel. Just type and search INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio and click on any of our show dates live now. And please don't forget to visit CEBSI Incorporated in Facebook, Instagram, and X regarding church events that's happening all around the world. And from all of us here in INC Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio, bye.
Bye, everyone. Happy Sunday.
Happy New Year.
Bye.